Hello and welcome to this week's edition of On the Couch. I'm Jermaine Sullivan.
And I'm Emily DiPadova. Joining us today is Matt Orff and Sean O'Malley from Rowan's Improv Club.
Sorry guys, we were just getting into character, you know.
Yeah.
We want to
just get all in the character.
Just so we're clear, I'm really Emily.
And I'm Jermaine.
I couldn't fool.
But,
yeah.
You know, it's all right.
Mm-hmm. So what is improv, per se?
Improv comedy is a styling of comedy where you kind of rely on your own talents and quick wit to kind of respond to what's going on and build off of what other people are saying. So even though something can start out very small as two people are in a supermarket talking to each other, it can end up that they get into a mecha robot battle because everybody in the scene just keeps building on each other and working up to something even more ridiculous and crazy.
So it's like freestyling, but in the sense of like storytelling, like more of like that, right?
Right, exactly. It's something I can do.
So, you know. Okay, absolutely. What made you get into improv?
The old president did theater with me back home over the summer, and he brought me and a couple of people in.
I was talking to my friend Brendan one night because we were at work together. He's my co-worker. And he was talking to me about the club and stuff like that. And I had done some theater in high school, but you know, I never really was interested in doing like some shows here. So he had mentioned the improv club to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll go and I'll try it out. And now here I am, and I'm the president of the club. So it's like,
that's awesome,
you know, yeah, no, it was a good time. I really enjoyed myself when I got there, and I met a lot of cool people. So it was good.
So now, word on the street is, nobody in the improv club is actually a theater major. Is that right?
Yeah, there's one of our members used to be a theater major, but she transferred into, I think, psych. Most of us are engineers or like STEM, something in STEM.
Right, so we're really looking for theater people to come check it out. It would be nice to build some credentials.
Okay. So why do you think that is, that engineering and STEM majors are drawn towards improv?
I think personally, because this is also coming from my own experiences, like I said before, how I wasn't really interested in doing the main stage shows that they have here at school, but I was still looking for that creative outlet, you know? And it's important to have that expressive outlet because, you know, you need to unwind or just, you know, do something fun or silly or to, you know, deal with all the schoolwork and things that you have to do. Right. So I think that we just had more engineering and STEM majors show up because they were also looking for something similar, but the main stage shows are usually, you know, either dominated by those who are theater majors or, I don't know, they also just weren't interested in performing in them. So I think just over time we had more of them, and then through them they also talked to other friends of theirs who were in similar situations, and we ended up having just more and more people come along.
Now, do you all perform at all in any sense, or?
We have shows here and there. A couple weeks ago, we had a smaller show with a group of 6 of us.
What was your name? What was your group name?
We were Endless Crab Legs.
They were Endless Crab
Legs.
Yeah,
right.
So we had a couple people show up expecting crab legs, which was the whole idea.
Yeah.
And they were thoroughly disappointed, but it was still a good show for everybody that came expecting us to just be comedy people.
We had, I think, maybe 10 people came up to me because I was running the front desk, but they were like, "Is this where the crab legs are?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they're right up there on stage." And they're like, "Well, where's the food?"
Yeah, like, all right, stop playing. Where's the cameras?
Where's
I'm being punked right now.
Yes,
all right, come on,
right.
what's going on? Like,
exactly,
yeah.
and then the look on their faces, I think, is one of the best things I've ever seen. Just how the change from "I'm gonna get some free crab legs" to
pure disgust.
Pure disgust and disappointment when it's improv comedy. Gross. And then they went to leave.
That's how people always come when there's free food, man. You know, if I wanted, like, I personally don't eat crab legs, but like I'm a big pizza guy, so there's like endless pizza and there's no pizza, I'm rioting immediately right now.
Understandable. I get it. That makes sense.
But hey, it's a way to get people to show up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So how are your performances structured? What do you guys?
So usually we'll just go through games that we'll do in meetings. We have a couple ones, like we have new choice, we have director, stuff like that.
Usually we'll start with something to warm up with, something simple and quick so that people like, kind of get pulled in and they understand what's going on, kind of. get used to how the structure is going to go, and then we'll move into things that require either a little more complexity or a little more audience participation. Usually we'll start with something like World's Worst, where we come up with a profession, and then you would go up to a microphone and you say something that the worst person in the world at that profession would do. So if you were a doctor and you were going up to the world's worst, you would say, wow, I left my tools in my patient, or something along those lines. And then, you know, we build off of that to move into stuff like you said, director, where they have to change what their motivation is in a scene and they repeat doing it a couple of times, or new choice where the director will tell them, all right, do something completely different from what you just said. And it's just, we build up to stuff until we eventually usually end with something that requires the audience to directly participate, usually by submitting a sentence or a scenario for us to do like directly. So that's also pretty fun.
Now, how long do your shows usually last? Is it an hour, or
Anywhere from like an hour to an hour and a half.
Okay, does it depend on like just how long you guys can keep it going, or?
Kind of usually depends on if we can like keep the audience, retain their attention and everything. It's usually we'll kind of keep going until they get bored.
Which we do. We do retain attention. We're not boring. No, but yeah, he's right. We'll usually keep an hour and a half because, you know, people will get burnt out, or they're like, okay, well, I kind of get the gist of the whole thing. But we try to pick as many different games as possible in order to keep it fresh for everybody, as well as it also depends on how many people we have in the show. Like when they did Endless Crab Legs, they had about 6. But other shows can have more or less people depending, and then that'll also affect how long they go.
Well, you've kept my attention for this long, so you guys are doing great so far.
Thank you. I've been told I have a magnetic personality, so it's yeah.
So what are some of the other shows titled? Like I know like you had like Endless Crab Legs. Like what are some other ones that you've had?
Okay, so at the end of last spring semester we had Improfs 2 Electric Boogaloo. And later this month, we have Improfs 3D Game Over.
Named after the critically acclaimed Spy Kids 3D Game Over. Yeah. So we like to do just, I don't know, plays on other titles or just something funny, because that's what we're trying to do, you know?
Right. Now on the, oh, sorry, good.
Nope, go for it.
Now on the fine print, did you have like, oh, no games are going to be here because of the crowd like thing?
Yeah, you know, from now on when we make the new poster,
we have to put a disclaimer.
We have to put a disclaimer in, exactly.
Oh, gosh.
So is there any particular reason you name the shows different things, like the Endless Crab Legs? Was there a reason you picked that? You're just like,
It's just funny.
I want to do this, so I'm going to do it.
When we have different groups go to do the smaller shows, like break off from the main grouping of people, like Endless Crab Legs did, usually we'll go for like something to just kind of distinguish themselves. Instead of just saying the Improfs, it'll be it's Endless Crab Legs by the Improfs or something like that, just to give them their own sense of identity. And if they want to do it again and they become, you know, more well known around campus, like if Endless Crab Legs kept doing stuff and more people would notice them, then they have weight carried to the name and stuff like that. So that's why we usually do it.
All right. Well, this interview has been quite interesting, one of my favorites, but we're about to do what I'm super excited for. When we come back, get ready to laugh so hard you cry as Jermaine and I try out some improv ourselves.
That's right.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
Welcome back to On the Couch. Let's get this show on the road. So, Matt and Sean, can you guys explain what we're going to do here?
All right, so we're going to be playing a game real quick, real simple. It's called Good, Bad, Ugly. So one of you guys, or somebody over here, you guys can come up with one if you like, will ask us a question that warrants some advice, such as, like I said before, I think my girlfriend is going to break up with me. What should I do about it? And then we will assign each of us to be good advice, where you just give good advice. Well, I think you should talk it out with her. Bad advice, you should break up with her first. That's the power move. And then ugly advice, which is so over the top, it's awful, and you would never want to do it ever. Oh, well, you should go to her house and then egg it and spell out something to her, or whatever, something along those lines.
Okay.
So it's very simple. So I think we should just figure out who's going to be good, bad, ugly, right? I'll be good. I'll start off good. Do you want to be bad?
Yeah,
I'll be
that works.
ugly.
And you can be ugly.
All right.
And I'll ask the
you can ask the question, and then we'll just
Sounds
rotate.
good.
Yeah.
Just rotate.
Okay.
All right.
So guys, I was at the grocery store and I picked up a can of Spam and I dropped it and it smashed all over the aisle. What do I do?
Well, if you were to ask me, I think personally that you should probably find some sort of store attendant, notify them of the situation, just explain what happened, and they'll probably get to cleaning it up right away.
So this guy's dumb. What you really need to do is just kind of knock it underneath the aisle. Just let it sit there. Nobody will say anything. You'll be fine.
And what I think you should do is I think you should just like cut it up into small pieces and then just throw it at every single kid you see.
I think I'm gonna go with Jermaine's
Okay,
advice.
absolutely.
That's it. The kids deserve it.
That's
So,
right.
I mean,
That's right.
Yeah. No.
All right.
seriously.
And then we'll
All right. Yeah.
So
We'll
now
just.
we rotate. So
we'll
now
rotate.
I'm ugly.
Yep. I'll ask the question. Matt's good. You're bad. You're ugly. No
Okay.
offense. So.
Hagen.
All right, guys. I've been feeling pretty lonely lately, and I'm thinking of adopting a dog. Do you have any tips on how to take care of my new dog?
Okay, Sean. So if you're gonna get a dog, make sure you get everything ready to get it house trained. I would very much recommend getting a dog that's already house trained. Make sure you have the right kind of food and everything, and then you should be good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think you should get a cat that's notorious for not liking dogs, and you should let them like be around each other.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think you should make sure that you have a brother that you don't like. Make sure the dog knows to go to the bathroom on his bed and his bed only.
Okay.
And then you probably should leave him outside. Because
Why not?
Right, because
Why
dogs
not?
don't belong.
No
outside.
leash.
Yeah.
Right. Of
Duh.
course. Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
No,
I
absolutely.
totally didn't mean that, guys. I love dogs. I'm sorry. That was such a hard question. I don't want to be mean to the dogs.
That's fine. That's fine. All right, Matt. You,
All right,
you got
all
a
right,
question?
so,
You got a question.
My professor just gave me an F on an assignment that I got every question right on. What do you think I should do about that?
I think you should go up to him and ask for the answer key and say like, hey, here's my test and here's the answer key and this is why I got every single thing right, and then, you know, it'll just coincide with one another.
All right.
Yeah.
I think you should take your shoe off and throw it at him.
I think you should find a way to get into the school's database records. Look at his personal income and his familial status. Find out his marriage is on the rocks. Print out a copy of the paper. Then I want you to find him, stamp your own personal red F on his divorce papers, shoving it in his face, and then telling him, this is what happens when you don't give me an A on my assignment.
Viable option.
Or
Thank
something
you.
along those lines.
All right.
All right.
Let's go on.
Thank you.
All right. So my question is that I need $5 for the bus that I'm going on to get to school, but I see that my brother left his $10 out, and I'm contemplating on taking it or not.
I think you should reach out to your brother and ask him if you can borrow just half of it, and you'll pay him back later so that you don't steal from him.
Okay.
Why stop at $10? Why not take multiple things of your brother's and then sell them, and then you would have lots of more money for yourself. And
Yeah.
then when he asks where it went, you could just say, I don't know.
I don't know. Just shrug.
Just
right?
shrug. Just give him a
See,
shrug, and then you're good. That's it.
It'll be easy.
Foolproof.
Yeah,
So-
definitely.
I don't think you should take anything for brother, but just go outside, go onto the street. Instead of worrying about taking the bus, just find a car, take that. Nobody will ever find out that you took it unless it's the person who's looking for it. But
Yeah.
how are they going to find you? They don't have your car.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
just
Yeah.
take somebody else's car and you'll be fine.
Okay. Not bad.
So guys, I was walking outside and I tripped and I fell and scraped my knee real bad. And I'm bleeding everywhere and I don't know what to do because there's no Band-Aids.
Well, I would recommend then, if you're bleeding everywhere, possibly find a passerby, ask them if they have any spare bandages on them, and if not, call an ambulance or possibly find a nearby doctor in order to give you medical attention.
Smart.
Thank you.
Find some dirt and just.
All right, yeah, cool.
So cup as much as blood as you can. Put it in water, put some sugar in it, and then just say oh, it's just fruit punch, and then just give it to the first person you see.
Wow.
Just go at it. Just go at it.
Okay.
I mean, that takes a lot of effort, so I may just rub some dirt in it.
Right, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally.
Recently, I got in a fight with my mom because I didn't do my chores, so I was wondering how I might be able to make it up to her.
You should probably take on a little bit more responsibility in your home. Definitely make sure you get all of your chores done. Do a couple extra things for your mother here and there around the house. Just be a better son.
Oh. All right. Thanks, Matt.
I don't know. Just fight your mom. I don't know.
Fight my mom?
Yeah, just fight your mom.
Yeah, she's weak. I could probably do
just
it.
Fight your mom. Just do that.
Take that dog that's sitting outside from earlier. You know,
Oh, right. Okay, my
Yeah.
dog. Yeah.
have him go to the bathroom on your mom's bed,
Okay.
and then take.
I feel like you've done
What-
this before.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you
have
said,
kind
you
of
said that
a
now
one-trick
twice.
pony for everything.
Yeah,
huh?
I'm never leaving you
And
with my
then
dog.
go to the kitchen,
Yeah? And then what do I do in the kitchen?
and then take the ketchup out of the fridge, and just sort of squirt it all over the kitchen.
Okay.
Just 'cause, why not?
Just because she yelled at me?
Yeah.
I should get back at her for
So
it?
now she can clean up your mess.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Makes sense. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
So, my wife left me and took the children.
What should you do? You should write a strongly worded letter to her and say, I'm sorry for everything. Even if you feel deep in your heart that you weren't, you apologize, you buy her a brand new McLaren, and you just hope for the best. Oh, and you remove all your names off your accounts, and you just give her your money. And just give her all of your direct deposits just straight to her. You don't need any money. She needs it, and the kids.
Kidnap the children. Just kid them. Just go there in the middle of the night. Take them.
Reclaim what's mine.
Yes, and then bring a bat with you so you can smash her car, so she can't come get them back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, kidnapping is a good idea. I think you might get in a little bit of legal trouble. So here's what you do. You quarterback. You fix the relationship. You make sure things are going swimmingly. Then, boom, it's 3 months later. You take a trip together to Paris. You're on top of the Eiffel Tower having a romantic dinner. And then all of a sudden, bam! Here are the divorce papers. I'm taking the children now, Susan, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. She cries. You walk away. Eventually, you abandon her there in Paris, never to be seen again. Come back to the United States, reclaim the children as rightfully yours because now she's gone missing in a country she doesn't know how to speak the language, and you've already divorced her, and boom, you have your kids back with no problems whatsoever.
Susan was pretty useless to me. All
There
right.
we go. Exactly.
Again, I feel like some of these are too thought out. You peeing on the bed, and you with that elaborate kidnapping thing. Oh my God.
Well, I'm just being thorough.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
You want
absolutely.
to make sure
cover
they
the
know
base.
exactly what to do in the case that their wife takes
Jeez.
their kids.
Exactly.
Or their mom yells at them.
Yeah,
You have to have a plan for everything, Jermaine.
I guess so.
No matter the circumstances,
you
you
might.
need to have a plan.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Now, Matt and Sean, the time has come for you to leave us.
Oh. Sad. I'm sorry.
tears.
A moment of silence.
Okay.
But before you go, is there any shows you have coming up or any social media you would like everyone to know about?
So on April 28th, we have, as previously mentioned, Improfs 3D Game Over. It will be All the details and everything will be on our. We have a Twitter, correct?
We have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook, we've got a MySpace. If you're into that kind
Link
of
up
thing.
with us on MySpace.
Link up with us on MySpace. Tentatively, we have it scheduled to be in Boyd Recital Hall. However, we're going to be putting up posters around campus with a definite location. And we're also partnering with the Rowan Environmental Action League, or REAL, to make it a co-sponsored event. We're also planning on having food. So we might have some pizza for you.
Hypothetical food or food?
No, there is no bamboozling happening on this one.
No,
we're going to have actual food probably.
Okay.
Maybe.
I will be there. Food.
Great.
like
I'm
that.
glad. So yeah, that's about it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, Matt and Sean. Coming up, we have some real hot topics, so don't go away.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Welcome back to On the Couch. Now we have some hot topics.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
All right. So our first hot topic, Magic Johnson has recently stepped down from being the Lakers president following a disappointing season. It kind of came as a shock, and he actually told social media before he told his boss, which is like, what? Not professional at all.
I don't know about all that.
He says that he did it because he wants to be happier. He hasn't been happy being the president for I guess whatever
Right.
reason. But a lot of people think that it's because just the season that they've had
that
after the
season,
loss and everything.
He didn't make the playoffs,
but he says said he could be happy again and enjoy enjoy life. I mean, it is a lot of pressure, I'm sure. It's a lot of responsibility.
Right.
You know, holding a high role like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure where he's going to go next or what he's going to do next.
I don't know. He's a multi-millionaire, so he can pretty much do whatever he wants at this
He
point.
can give me some of his money if he wants.
Yeah.
Because I'm broke.
Help us out. That could be your new gig.
Yes. Paying off my student loans.
That's right. Me too.
I would enjoy that. He can come here and help me with that, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, we have the first picture of the black hole. This was captured by Katie Bauman, who's age 29, and she figured out an algorithm how to capture the black hole located 55 million light years away. I read somewhere that it's possible, like it's estimated that it's 65 million times, or billion, or I said, million, billion, at that point, it doesn't even really matter, but bigger than the sun. So,
wow,
yeah,
really?
it's really, really huge.
It's crazy because if you look at it, it just looks so small.
Yeah, it's just like so small, but it's so far away. Science has come so far.
It really has. I know that it was a team of like 200 researchers, but she was the one who helped figure out the algorithm. So go women.
That's right, go women. Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess when I heard about it, I was like picturing some super detailed, like, wow picture, and then I saw it and I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, it's still a huge advancement, and it definitely shows how far we've come. 55 million light years away, and they were able to get a picture of it. That's just like
technology, just crazy. It's just
mind blown.
Absolutely. Yeah. Next up, we have the Apple Card that's releasing this summer. So if you're not in debt, you can get in debt with the Apple Card. So basically, this card is actually pretty cool. I'm thinking about personally getting it for myself because it does not have any type of numbers on it. I think there's going to be a lot less fraud with it because it just has literally your name on it. And it's made out of titanium, cool design. I'm pretty sure they're going to be coming out with a lot more designs, but yeah.
This is just like the initial, which I guess I'm like confused. So you can't really like trace it there's no numbers, there's no card number, there's no chip. It's just got your name on it. So how do you like?
I think it's like more like in the chip size. You know how like you could see this chip thing right here? I don't think you can see it right here, but there's like a chip on it and that holds all the information in it.
Okay,
so yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I saw that you can track all of the information in like the Apple Wallet on your phone or something like that. It has what your balance is, when your next payment is due. I know if you purchase Apple products with the card, you get a certain percentage cash back.
Yeah, cash back, definitely. Yeah.
But then I also heard that the interest rate is really high.
Right.
So that could be a downfall. That could be their downfall. But Apple is just like taking over everything.
That's right. They're doing everything, and
like banking now. What?
It's just crazy. I mean, where they can get some money, they're gonna find a way.
They're gonna try to put their foot in every single door possible, for sure. I know. So, do you know anything else about it? Is it only on the phone, or you get it in a physical?
So some retailers, you do get it in a physical. It is a metal card. It's like it's not plastic. You do get like a physical copy of the card itself, and it's metal, and just like has your name on it. And you can also put it in the Apple Wallet. I think you
so
said.
You can use it either the physical card or you can use it in your phone.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes sense. I guess the whole thing that confuses me is Apple's not a bank.
Right.
So I guess it'll be interesting to see how this works out and how popular it gets. It's Apple, so I'm sure there's going to be tons of people who are going to be all over it.
Right, and they had a watch before, but they didn't have a watch before, but now they have an Apple Watch, and everybody loves it.
And it's crazy, yes.
Yeah,
so we will definitely have to wait and see for that. But that is all that we have for you today. I'm Emily DePadova.
And I'm Jermaine Sullivan. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next week on this week on the couch. Jesus Christ.